is it okay for the siblings to take up the role of the ushers?
There is no way you can tell me nti basobola okubeera nga bakwasaganya these other jobs like helping guests or serving drinks at the function at the same time the same person who welcomed you is the same person you're going to see as omuko.
We need to let the professional ushers take charge of the service, and then we let our siblings rest. Greetings to our viewers. Welcome to this episode of the MC's Chimeza, powered by the Professional MC's Forum. My name is Lawrence Sebulime, and today we bring you very intelligent men in the industry. Tukuletedde abantu abakugu bakafulu mu ushering teams. We have different ushering teams in the country, and today we bring you the very best in the land. And allow me give them a chance to introduce themselves, starting with the very gentleman on my right.
Yes, my name is Mugwanya Rajab Kawenja, and I'm the CEO of Kushona Executives.
My name is Jordan Serunjoji. I'm a manager from Kama Exotic Ushers.
My name is Wachigiu Kenneth, and CEO Ken Events Management, Kinda Waiters.
Thank you very much, Rajab and Ken, together with Kama Executives. Tusanyusanyo kubalaba. This is the MC's Chimeza, and feel, I wouldn't say you feel at home because some of your homes are violent. So I'll say that feel at the MC's Chimeza.
Yeah.
And I want to remind the viewers, do not forget to subscribe, to follow, to comment, to repost, and kindly show the love to the MC's Chimeza. So first thing first, welcome to the MC's Chimeza.
Yeah,
Thank you so
And
much.
I would want us to have a view on what an MC is. Like, this is the MC's Chimeza. So to you, in your view, what do you think an MC is, or what is the role of the MC at any event that you've been through?
As an MC, to me, is a person who is the controller of the event. Is a person who owns the event in particular. So he's the one who drives the event all around. So he's the person who coordinates the avenue of what flows. This should follow, after this should follow. So in particular, he's a person who really drives an event and ensures everything is flowing. So he's the master, like you can hear, master of the ceremony.
The master of the ceremony.
Yes, master.
Yes, Jordan, what's your take?
For me, I take it as Mr. Kenneth has said. I also understand it like that. The MC is always the master of an event.
I wouldn't stand so far from what Mr. Ken said, because the MC is who is going to be taking over whatever is happening at the function. You are the planners, you're the mastermind of the whole event, in the sense that if anything doesn't go according to plan, you still have to find a plan C or B, depending. So in all ways, you're the first solution. You're supposed to be the fastest solution to whichever problem or havoc happens in the area. So you're carrying us all in the event. Yes.
Yeah, true.
Yes. Rajab says the MC is carrying us all, the mastermind, the master of the ceremony. And he agrees with my brothers Jordan and Ken as well. So, twagala okulaba, the ushers, we say they are the unsung heroes. Mwine ebintu olumu bye muyitamu ffe bye tutamanya. If you could paint a picture, that one time, that one moment you did something and it saved the event, or an ushering team did something that saved the event, ng'omukolo gufunyemu ekibeerabeera naye olw'okuba tulina ba ushers, because the viewers need to know that the ushers are quite an important aspect in any event. So if you could paint for us a picture, what's that one moment that the ushers played the role of the unsung hero? Ken, do you want to paint for us that picture?
Yeah, there are actually a couple of moments, actually. It cannot be even one, actually, because we are always like in second in command, if I can say, because when we usher in people, we have to make sure that they have sat. So a lot of things will happen. One circumstance that I can give at the moment is I remember one time the committee were really so desperate, you know. These people, you know, have money and a lot of things really happen and the drinks were short of, you know, out of hand. And most of them did not know the list. beers, how much quantity are supposed to be bought at the moment, you know, the flow, and then the quantity. It was something of a collusion. So, moment they came in and started asking in just less than 2 minutes, we had just to write something down about beer, this wine, and you know, things were sorted in the real time. So that's one scenario I can give.
No, great, thank you.
Yeah.
Jordan,
Yeah,
paint for us that picture.
for me, I would not differ from Mr. Kenneth as well, because there is also one time at an event, I don't recall where it was, but there is a certain time whereby when it rained so high, as the saying says that cats and dogs, it rained cats and dogs, and we, the ushers, were responsible for cleaning after rain, cleaning the mess, and we tried to organize something to make the functions to go on well.
Oh, great. Before I get to Rajab, is it the usher's role to clean up the place?
No.
Most of the time it's not the usher's role, but there is some certain time that comes. There is no someone else who can handle that, as you know, events. Most of the time you can't call the juice department to help that, or the tea department, nor the decoration department. Which means the ushers, for example, the Kama Exotic ushers, we also have Kama Exotic cleaners. That's when they come in and help us.
So the Kama Exotic cleaners are a different team from the Kama Exotic ushers?
They're not really that different, because the same CEO, but different roles. Yeah.
Okay. Rajab, you are to paint for us a picture of the unsung heroes behind the ushering industry.
What I would like to say is, the way I look at events is, it's more of like, what can I say? If you look at a bicycle, you can't ride a bicycle without the one tire or without these handles. And that's how I look at all the events, because in the aspect of what we do, we are as important as the MC, as the photographer, and as the paparazzi. That's if they are there. So the ushering, to me, I look at it as we are the overseers of the whole function, because you're now going to see what the mastermind is not saying. Because like I said, the MCs are the mind, and then we have the eyes. There's some people who are the legs. So that's how it's like.
Who are the legs?
We might be the legs. We might be the legs because we do most of the walking on site. So in the sense that we are the overseers, there are very many things that we see that some people might not see. And for me, the one incident was, there's a time we were in Serena, something like that. The decoration caught fire, and no one was seeing it. It was up. We were the same people who were supposed to look for maybe the decorator.
The viewer needs to know that sometimes fire can catch at an event.
Yes.
So some people might be hearing it for the first time. Omuliro gusobola okukwata mu decoration. Decoration yabeeramu ebintu bingi. Era olwa wiring eyo kuba kuzimba nyumba. The wiring can get wrong and then we can have a fire.
We had that incident of a fire, but it was still small. The good thing is, like we said, we are the seers on the function. One of my teammates saw it, and we had to look for the decorators to help us out. And in the sense that we had to first turn off everything to just first clarify what was happening. So there are very many incidences, but that's something that stood out for me, maybe, if I would say.
How did you put out the fire?
First, like I first said, we had to first switch off the electricity, because the causing was from the wiring. I think there was a fault in the wiring, and it made a spark. And one of the drips, they call them drips?
Yes.
Had caught fire. Of course, I can't say we need people to start having fire extinguishers on site, but there are very many things we should be looking out for, because there are very many risks that are happening in functions and are very unexpected.
Unpredictable.
There are very many risks. And
Very many.
events are very expensive. Much as we might not ask the guests or the client to come with a fire extinguisher, there are things we can look out for when choosing our venues. And I think this would go to the people, the proprietors of the venues that we have. It's not wrong to have a fire extinguisher because fire can catch. It's not wrong to have a first aid box because something can go wrong. And it's better that we prepare more so that we can encounter the different challenges or risks that we might face at an event.
Yeah.
Yes, Ken, you seem to have had something you wanted to say.
Yeah, I wanted to add on what actually has talked about. Basically, people undermine ushers or waiters, by the way. Just that, like I said, in an aspect whereby they don't know that tubanga abana bewaka, because someone can just come and tell you, please go do this for me. He can even send you out. They cannot refuse. You get. So basically, people actually undermine mostly waiters and ushers. There's a scenario whereby the couples were from USA, were in Chigo, and for them they had bought bouncers, you know, they were showing off, and the Bako brought things, the gifts, what, they paraded them there across. And you know, in our timelines, you know, when we are discussing this payment issues, we are going to do this and this and that, you get. But they normally forget some other things, like the way it's stated, like the cleaning. We've come to do the ushering and the waitering. So basically, they normally forget that. So they paraded the things, and then without you noticing, the MC, but ushers never waiters, so you come, lift things, you sweat, you do what, so all of the things, really, people don't see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happens in a scenario? Sometimes we have these meetings for events and somebody says, I need maybe 10 ushers. And then there is someone in the meeting who will say, the sisters or the siblings or the brothers to the groom or bride will come and take up the event. What would you have to say about that? Is it okay for the siblings to take up the role of the ushers, or should we leave the professional ushers to come and offer the service at an event?
Well, on my end, it's just even actually an advice. I love people enjoying events, more so family people, because it's for the person that you really want to enjoy the wedding for, the introduction. So I would advise at least you are out. That's why we are here. We come, we do everything that you really want. We want you to enjoy the event. So it's not appropriate. And then involving the family people, they will reach a time and they start telling you, you know what, on your event, I never enjoyed, I was doing this and this. So certain things, just you take a lead and you be like, let me pay off this so that these people can come and support in this area. So that's my take.
Jordan. Koja n'abaana be bajje ku mukolo bakolo bwa Asha.
For my sake, that's totally not true. I disagree with that 100%. Reason being, there is sometime, let me assume from the bride's side, kuba abera mwana wa waka, there is sometime wojja okugamba nti mukwate mwana ate nga bamwetaaga mu kidaala. So there is no way you can tell me nti basobola okubeera nga bakwasaganya these other jobs like helping guests or serving drinks at the function. At the same time, the same person who welcomed you is the same person you're going to see as Omuko. At the last moment, I disagree with that for that reason.
Rajab. Sengaje ne timu ye.
In the sense that we're in a meeting, I would still advise, but it would be speaking a lot to me, in the sense that those people don't value whatever you're going to be doing. So I'll take my part of advising you, but in most cases, I wouldn't want to be part of such a function, honestly. Because if someone is going to be saying, my brothers can do that, that alone is going to cut your budget, in the sense that they think they can do what you're going to be doing. So me, what I would advise is at some point, I'll let you use the singer, uncle, and brother. Because what people don't see is that we're the insurance. We act as insurance to ensure that your function is going to move smoothly.
Yeah.
And if you cannot see just that, to me, that's enough to show that I'm not supposed to be at your event. Then, of course, after the advising. And this is also something that comes up when maybe people's budgets are a bit tight. That's when they will think of, why don't my brothers do this? Why don't my sisters do this? But what I would like to say to the clients out there is everyone in our budget. Just stick to your budget, but still you need that service for the smooth running of whichever thing you're doing.
Omulabi wafaali eyo alina okukitegeera nti ba ushers bano balina omulimu gw'amaanyi era abagamba nti baganda bange bajja kukola baganda bo baleke banyumirwe omukolo ba ushers bakole ogwabwe. We need to let the professional ushers take charge of the service and then we let our siblings rest because the ushers are trained to do this particular role, but then our siblings are going to have to give the service and then eventually they'll run into the photos. So eventually we lose the gist of offering the service of ushering. So like my brothers have said, ba ushers tubaleke bakole omulimu gwabwe. And now that we know that you are professional ushers, we want to talk about the money. Because some people would say an usher should be paid maybe 10,000. Or an usher shouldn't be paid. Oba usher tumusasule na mmere. So what would you have to say about that? Should an usher get paid? Any professional should get paid. And then if the usher has to get paid, maybe you could paint for us a picture. What's the range? Because we've been to meetings and somebody thinks that an usher is 20,000 shillings and the event is in Munyonyo. So you could paint for us a picture. Jordan, how much or what's the range that the viewer should know when they're doing their budgeting? How much should they budget for an usher? A professional one that will do the job.
For a professional usher, for us, we the Come Exotic, we have it's like a pricing list. Depends on your budget. It's easy as the customers so that you know what you demo bait here. I'm a low budget, what we can still handle your price. Sente zona zoina, you come, we talk, we sit on a table and talk. We come up with an agreement to gain an each.
What would be the minimum that somebody should pay an usher that is professional?
The minimum, it depends on how many ushers you want on your function. And the ushers you want on your function depends on how many number of people you assume are going to attend.
You could advise, for example, 50 to 100, 100 to 150, 150 to 250. You could paint for us that picture because somebody thinks that if my budget is constrained, nga budget yange entono, nsobola okufuna ba asha batano ne bakola ku bantu bitano. Oba nsobola okufuna ba asha 10, ye ba asha 10 baba banji. Nebwe mba n'abantu 100 era mba n'aba asha 10. So you could paint for us a picture so that we get to know and we budget well and plan better.
Angabo Gambia, for me, 10 people could basobola kola for 1,000 people. They could be enough. Defying anti it's bako over the side of the bride. It's okay with it. 20 people can be enough for a function.
And we talked of the minimum. Ken, what would be the ideal price for one usher? You could paint for us a picture.
For ideal, the pricing, okay. On my end, it really comprises of what really we are going to do on the event and how the event is looking. You can look at the status. But like he has said, the number of people also matters because the less number, you cannot tell me you can now start deciding of, Salirako, and yet that number is really small because whereas a company can benefit from also, we look at that as well on the beneficiaries. Yeah, but for as long as the number exceeds 15 plus, then of course there is the room for negotiation. Yeah.
If we are looking at maybe 10 ushers, 250 people.
250 people.
Because we want to help the viewers. Nti bakola budget. Nosanga nga asha aliko emitwalo 3. Ate tetubanenya nnyo. Abantu bano olumu baba n'emikolo omulundi gwabwe ogusooka so nga ye amanyi nti asha mitwalo 3 abeera ayita nga bwe wandisanze nti MC bamutaddeko emitwalo 5 naye kati ffe ne tugamba nti ezo sente zibeera ntono bwandibadde obukadde nga 3 oba nga 2 kati gwe asha if you are advising people what would the budget look like for an asha ng'oli ayagala abantu nga 10 ku namba y'abantu nga 250 what would the budget look like per asha
for a professional one?
Yes.
Professional one, at least taka wansi wa mitwalo 15 per professional one. Yeah, that's the minimum amount for a professional usher.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Roger, what would you have to say? You could advise on the number of the ushers for an event and as well the pricing.
For the times we've been in the, actually we made 4 years in April. So we're still new in the company, but in the industry. But I would say we've worked at over 500 functions in the past 4 years. So that alone has given us the experience to know that this number of people needs like this number of ushers at a particular time. And the pricing, what I look at in the pricing is how many ushers are you looking at and where are we going? Because the same price, we can't charge you the same if you're taking us to Fort Portal, if you're taking us to Mbarara, out of Kampala, I would say. So for us, we have a scope of 12 kilometers around Kampala. That's what we refer to as Kampala. And me, as I'm charging the usher, I'm looking at the equipment they're going to use.
12 kilometers from which
City
point
center.
of Kampala?
City
Yeah,
center,
the city
sorry.
center. Okay, good.
That's like Chikuba.
Kuva mu Kikuubo okuva kilomita 12 ndowooza obanga Kireka.
Chireka.
N'obeeranga Kawempe. N'odda eri obanga Busega. Then on the western side, beyond Busega, n'obeeranga Kajansi.
Kajansi. Then in Entebbe Road, obeeranga
Kajansi ne Gaba. So beyond that,
that's out of Kampala, yes.
Kati bw'oba ofuna venue ng'oyagala ba ushers obala 12 kilometers bwe zisukkamu ng'omanye beeja
abakushona
abakushona
kuba tuyinza obba twawukana n'emukolo ken nga kiyinza obba kikyukamu. So when mba charging, I look at what they are going to wear, their time, the preparation process that they are going to look at in your function. Because what we call a jija nagamba, I just need you here by like midday. There is possibility of negotiation in the sense that we have started our day midday. Gugenda kugwa ddi. The times people want you to go past 1 a.m. in the night. Those are all different charges to me. And my best amount that I look at when I'm regarding to all this, their uniforms, their time, making sure that these people are well motivated, all that. To me, I would feel like an usher needs at least 200,000 a function. We may be different, but that's my opinion about the ushering bit. Because I'm your insurance at the function. I'm going to ensure that everything is working out well. You can't pay 50,000 for an usher when you have decoration of 120 million. That is really just undermining the value of the ushers that are going to be there. And it all depends on what you're looking at. Yeah? But to me, the ushering role is at most a very important role in the function. And it being important in the function means it has to come at a price. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes. So that's what I look at.
Thank you, Rajab. The viewer needs to know that it's come out very clearly that a professional usher needs to be paid. There has to be a tag of price to an usher. Tuyina ab'emitwalo 10, tuyina 15, tuyina 2, ndowooza n'okusukkamu sometimes. So depending on where the venue is and the role that they are going to play, an usher that is going to be with you for 4 hours will charge differently as compared to an usher that will be with you for maybe 12 hours plus. So you need to factor in all these considerations when you are budgeting for the ushers.
Yes.
So, gentlemen, I would also want to know, what are the biggest challenges that you could have faced along the way as you are in the practice of ushers? Ebyo ebintu ebibasoomooza nga muzze ku mikolo bye muyitamu. Ken, what are some of those challenges that you go through? Because some people think ushers byuma tebakoowa tebakaaba tebanyiiga ndogoyi. So what are some of the challenges that you go through as you're trying to do sometimes that don't feel?
Yeah, actually, there are a couple of challenges that one. It's not even one or two, even three. There are many.
You could give us the biggest that you've encountered.
Okay, the biggest one is the language barrier. Where you basically, parents come in, like let me give an example, the West, muri Baganda, and then oli agana kupa olunyankole awo kumba kubuuza mmeeza gy'alinatuulako. So language barrier, but in the long run we keep on learning in the process. But that's one thing that really has taken us a little bit behind, but we are trying actually to catch up. So it's not only actually in the West, but even other districts, other regions as well.
So language barrier is a key issue.
Yeah.
So I think, wouldn't we want to onboard people from different regions?
We do, like now in my sector, at least I have a majority, I can say, from the East, from the North, from the West, yeah, even in the Central, I do really have.
So I think it's also important, because as we are telling the viewers, we are telling to the clients to be, and people that have different ushering agencies, it's important to have ushers that are from across the country. Nobango ina amanyi Oluganda, nobango ina asobola okwogera Olunyankole, asobola okwogera Oluzungu obulungi, asobola okwogera Oludama. So you need to balance up all the different regions so that you do not have issues of language barrier.
Yeah.
Jordan, that one challenge, the biggest that you've encountered in the industry?
One of my biggest challenge is there are some people at the function ababeeranga, they are like not professional event planners. Naye abajjanga ba event planner. Let's say after the budget ne bagamba nti senga kabeerenga event planner. Those people, someone the event planner can tell you, let's do this and this like this way. Ate senga na very nakugamba it nakiganyite kibeera bwekyo, you understand? That's one of my biggest problems.
So the role of the unsolicited event planners. So when you have an event planner, let the event planner do their work. Yes. Right.
Yes, I also wouldn't differ much from my brother. The very many people, you reach at a function, then you're going to see like 20 contact people. Everyone is telling you what to do. So it gets us confused, and that's why for us we ask for one person that we're going to be listening to. The rest of the work, I believe we've been to very many functions and we've seen very many. So I would ask the client to let us do our work. Then maybe another challenge I've seen is these days functions are very, very different. Every day you see a new function. Something new comes up and you're like, hey, so it's a challenge that you're new to such an environment, but in the sense that these people expect you to be knowing what you're doing because they've hired you as a professional. Ajja kujja kubuuza ekintu ng'ekituufu naawe gwe gusoose okiraba. Gwe gusoose okiwulirako. Ne kati you're also supposed to be professional ogambe nti kati tukola bwe tuti ne bwe tuti. So
nti omanya otya omusoto oguli poisonous n'ogutali nga gulumya omuntu
naye nga wali ogulabyeko ku mukolo. That kind of thing. So it's a challenge, but it's also something solvable. And we really look at trying new things. And I want to appreciate the MCs Chimeza. By that, I've been following you guys so much. When you hosted Pastor Romshana,
yes,
he talked about diversity in everything we do. You now can't tell a function is going to be for only Muslims. You can't tell a function is going to be for only Balokole. You can't tell it's going to be only Banyankore. So we need to be diverse in the best way possible. So that's something I learned from the MC's Chimeza. Just wanted to.
Thank you. And another interesting one. Do ushers eat? Should ushers be given food? Or bamujja mukuse? How do you go about that? Should ushers eat? Do they eat? Are they given food? Should they be given food?
Let me go first on that. It depends on what we agreed on. Yeah? I personally don't believe in the ushers eating before the guests because we were paid to come and do this service. But at the same time, that's why I have to quote it for you in my quotation. Welfare and maybe accommodation, it depends. So to me, that's welfare. I have to charge you for that. But if you tell me that we're part of your food, then it comes off of our quotation. But professionally, an usher should eat last, or not even eat at all at that particular function.
So when do they eat? Babeera basiibye.
Baba, olina okuba nga wateeseyo enkokoto. Nze wange tukiyita nkokoto. Because you're going to have to stand the whole day. You can't tell me you're coming to a function when you've not put anything. And you're going to work till 5 p.m. Let me say it's a wedding. Weddings usually have their food at 6, 7. Some few speeches then. So you can't tell me you've fasted actually to come and eat our food.
Sometimes you find an usher at midday and you ask, where are the toilets? Then they will tell you, move out, turn right, turn left. And then at 3, where are the toilets? Move out, turn left, turn right. And then at 6, where are the toilets? Move out, turn left, turn right.
So it happens, but courtesy of you, you're supposed to have eaten. Yeah? And food brings a lot of issues. There are very many issues. And in our industry, the time people are eating, if you also say you're going to go and eat, it means you've left a very big gap on what you're supposed to be doing this side. So, much as we want the food, I wouldn't say we don't. It's really professional to know that we've come to do this particular bit of work and we put our focus to it.
Okay.
But the food is very much appreciated to the clients that still give us the food.
The food is much appreciated.
We really appreciate because it's just courtesy for you to feed us.
Yes. Again, the food. Do we eat? When do we eat? Should we eat? Should we be given food?
What Rajab has said in particular, but because when you're talking with the client or dealing with the client, most of the times all those are included in the pricing. So and yes, like I said, they should not actually find us on the line in particular because it's like out of bounds because it's a guest to eat. But of course we have to, put in nkokoto to jita nkokoto. Because most of the time we normally come, they ask, so that it pushes us through that day. But we always appreciate to all the clients that really, actually most of them first be like ushers, first eat, because they know what really the day is going to be carried off of what we are going to do. So they normally actually be like, they separate actually the food. Some, I'm not saying all, but some normally separate the food for the service providers and normally be like, first come and have something to eat. Yeah, so that in case they get you in the line, they be like, but you ate. But they normally,
the food.
Yeah, they. But okay, basically, most of the clients, they don't expect us to be on the line.
Okay.
But we appreciate most of the times when we be like, guys, you can now go and eat, have something to eat. Yeah.
Yes, Jordan. Should ushers eat? Bandit day?
What I've noticed is we all have so much in common because we also have that so-called Nkokoto, as Mr. Rajab and Mr. Kenneth has said. We also do the same. Early in the morning, after arriving at the function, you have to first eat. No sibe Nkokoto. So that pushes you to lunchtime maybe omugole waba asiimye you eat, if waba tasiimye you just continue nkokota oyo
ng'okolima.
tokolima.
So thank you, gentlemen. We are coming to the near closure of this episode, and I would want us to give our parting shots, the last remarks to the viewers. Jordan, your last remarks to the viewers.
For me ngenda kwogera ku Kama Exotic Ushers. As for we provide a fascinating service okutandikira ddala ku our uniform. It's a unique uniform. Most of our clients, they love the pilot uniform, as you know. They love it so much, I don't know why. Nenga, as we look, is the very service we provide.
Thank you. The Kama Exotic Ushers, bali very, very professional. Babera smart. Bambala bonanga bali gumite. Atulu mumukolayo ne kubuzina. Do you train?
Yeah, we do train.
Okay.
We also have the Kama Exotic Dancers.
Okay.
Yeah, whereby we provide each service you need. If you need Kama Exotic Ushers, we are available. For the case of cleaners, we also available. And for the case of dancers, you want to entertain your guests, we also available.
So they have the Kama Exotic Ushers, they have the Kama Exotic Cleaners, you have the Kama Exotic Dancers, Kama Exotic Drivers. So your name will be very exotic. Ken, parting shots.
Yeah, cutting shots. For Ken events, we have kinda waiters that do the ushering and the waitering. We also have security. We also have the cleaners, kinda cleaners as well. Yeah, we all do that part in particular, but we are most well known for the ushering and waiters. Yeah.
For the ushers. Ken events, they have the ushers, the waiters, they have security as well. In mycology, no lumujibako security, you need people to keep law and order in case something goes wrong. Rajab,
Yes.
shots to the viewers.
To me, I wouldn't be different with my brothers. We are the Kushona executives, and our tagline is exceeding expectations every time. I also lead the team at Kushona Designs, where we have bridal gomasis, gowns, suits, and much more. We're located at Coronation Road, opposite Old Kampala Primary School, and we have very, very good, affordable prices. And I would like to say we are the biggest, most qualified, and the most executive ushers in Uganda. Thank you so much, MCs Chimeza, for having us all, and we look forward to more interactions like this.
Thank you. So our dearest viewers, we've had Jordan from Kama Executives, Kama Exotic. We have Jordan from Kama Exotic Ushers. We've had Ken the event planner. We've had also Rajab from Kushona. And these have given us quite an interesting episode. And I would want to thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so very much. And you're doing a great job out there in the industry. We are more than very proud of you. And to our dearest viewers, once again, we want to interestingly point out the role of the ushers. The ushers are an interesting aspect for any event. And when they are professional, they have to get paid. Basenga abakojja n'abenganda ababajja tuyambako tweyanzizza nnyo. Naye omulimu ogw'okukola ushering okuyambako guno naguli ku mukolo tugulekere abantu abali professional. Let's leave the professional work to the professional people. These people live every breath of theirs learning the craft and art of ushering. So it's only fair that we let them do the ushering. One more time, I want to thank you for your viewership on the MCs Chimeza, powered by the Professional MCs Forum. Kindly continue to follow, to subscribe, to comment, to reshare every post, and each and every topic that you'd want us to talk about, kindly feed it into the comment section. We shall be following as and by when the need arises. Once again, my name is Lawrence Sebulime. I'm a professional event MC, and thank you one more time. Have a good time. Goodbye.